Morning people, it's March now. I haven't been in the garden much because I've had that dreaded flu. Duck house is coming along nicely. Yes, I had that dreaded flu. I came out last week and it must have lasted about 10 minutes. I was just like, I can't do this. And I just had to go and lie on the couch. Isn't a bad thing really, but when you need to get on with your gardening, you need to get on. Rhubarb shooting up. Apart from that little stumpy one there. Not sure what kind they are. They were all given. But I'll be ready to harvest soon, that one. But I keep raking the ground over, just keep raking, because all the little weedlings are starting to come up. If you just keep weeding them, just keep knocking them back down until all the seeds have germinated, and then you've killed them all off. Yeah, if only if it was that simple. But anyway, it's March now, like I said, it's the back end of March. So it's all systems go for gardeners. They'll be in the polytunnel, setting seeds away. There'll be seeds on the kitchen windowsill. The wife will be sick of seeing seeds everywhere. Or it might be the wife doing it. But the house will be full of seedlings. They'll be everywhere. We've still got a chance of frost. We're in County Durham. So we've still got a chance of frost. Well, I know we've got frost. We've got frost coming tonight. But what I'm doing here is I'm planting out some broccoli and cauliflower. Now, I've got this little frame. Now I'm looking at them. I'm thinking I haven't made it big enough, but it doesn't matter. So this frame, all it is some pipe. I've got some rebar, reinforcing bar that you can see. I stab that in the ground and I slide the pipe over it. If you don't know what reinforcing bar is, it's what they put in concrete to strengthen concrete. So builders use it, ground workers, that type of thing. I mean, I suppose you can use any type of bar as long as it's quite strong. Because it holds this in place pretty well. And then I've just tied some bits of bamboo along the top, some canes. Like you say, you can use something else if need be. And all that'll do is stop the sheet from sagging. And there's the sheet. Now, the sheet's 2 meters. These are 1.5 meters. And that side's buried in. That's what this little, I've made a little bit of a trench here. So once I've planted this up, I'll pull the sheet over, put some soil on the edge of the sheet. I mean, you don't have to use soil, you can use bricks, pegs, lumps of wood. You use whatever you want really. But I thought if I just put soil over, it's easy to get rid of the soil. If I bring wood over, I have to carry the wood away or the bricks away. Now, cauliflower and broccoli are hardy, so the frost won't damage them. That was a good start. Bamboo fell off. Put that back on in a bit. They will tolerate some frost, like so. But I'll put this cover over for now, give them a good head start, because I have been hardening them off, not bringing them out the polytunnel because I've not had a chance because I've been at work. But I brought them next to the door of the polytunnel to get a bit of a draft in. So I'm going to get these planted, cover them up. The conker there, don't want that growing. That's ready to grow. It can grow over there. Yeah, and then hopefully I'm going to get some potatoes planted as well. And I got another trick for them, which I did last year and it worked a treat, so I'm going to do it again this year. I have got some sacks, some like plastic sacks in the polytunnel with a few potatoes in. I started rooting in the kitchen. They've just started popping up to try and get an early crop out. You see, still got beetroot from last year. I did amazing with beetroot. Sick of the stuff. Anyway, right, I'll get these in and get back to you. Well, there we go. Slug buffet is open. As you can see, some of them are a bit too close together, but Should be alright. I'm going to leave the cover off for a while, let the sun get to them. So I've got broccoli, cauliflower, different types. I have got a few left over, which I'm not really sure what to do with. There's yeah, isn't it devastating that all of them are going to get flung? I mean, if you wanted to, you could put them back into a tray and grow them on again. I don't know whether to do that or just set some more seeds away, because that will be what the plan is. I'm going to set some more seeds away for the next batch. So these will come up and then I'll have another batch. So I think I'll just compost them, see if we get a healthier batch. So say I'm going to leave the cover off, let the sun get to it. When I put the cover on, both ends will be open, so there will be airflow going through. Somewhere for the pigeons to go and eat them, basically, yeah. Hope not. Just the slugs. I mean, a few of them will probably get eaten off by slugs, which will be a shame. But I'll keep an eye on them. Come out on a night, slug guard, slug patrol. But in the meantime, I think I'm going to go for some breakfast. I'm sure the people in the house have woke up by now. So, yeah, and then I'll plant some potatoes, hopefully, while the sun's out. While it's a glorious sunny day. And then I better get that duck house finished. And everything else. And the other 10 million jobs. Get all that cleared off, ready. Won't be planting them there for a bit yet, like. Not till after April, at least. Last frosts. Anyway, catch you in a bit. I've just come into the polytunnel. It's a bit warmer in here, thank God. Still a mess, but we need to start tidying it up because won't be long. Obviously the tree ferns, the bananas, they can't go out yet because there's still a chance of frost. The olive trees were basically, they didn't really need to come in. So, but I brought them in last year, I brought them in this. Normally what happens with terracotta pots is they just freeze and crack. So I prefer to bring them in. We've still got a chance of frost, but I'm going to take them back out. And then try and get all this cleaned. I've got some peas growing there. A few strawberry plants in this bed. And you see I've filled it with grass, ash. Not Ash, the brother-in-law, and cousin, whatever he is. But wood ash. Got eggshells in. By the looks of it. Oh yes, there's an onion grown. Don't know where that's come from. But yeah, the weeds are grown, so I'll have to keep on top of this. Keep them pulled out. But yeah, this will be full of tomatoes, that's why there's eggshells in here. We'll crunch all them up, give it a tidy up later on. Some bedding plants ready to go. Got some potatoes are coming up in here. Don't know if you can see them. Yeah. So, trying to get some early ones in. I'll get them topped up with grass. A few cactuses. And then this monstrosity, I can't even say the word. Yeah, this mess. We'll say this mess. Easier. We'll just pin that up there, out the way. And then we'll be able to have a look in. So, tomatoes. Got a lot of chilies. Now them chilies there was off a chilli that I grew last year and I kept the seeds. and they're doing very well. And some more chilies there, a few onions. I think we've got some Swedes and some cabbages. Last year's chilli plants, which that one doesn't seem to have much out on it, but this one's got some new growth. Peppers, started some cucumbers. As you can see, the temperatures, it's quite warm in here. I reset that yesterday, so just put seeds in here the other day, so they haven't come up yet. So yeah, now is the time. Sweet peppers, oh, looks like we've just got a couple starting to come there, pushing the seed pod out. Happy days. So yeah, it's that time of year when it's all systems go and you don't have enough room and everywhere just looks a mess because you can't plant everything out and you don't have enough room to plant everything. But this I want to redo, make a proper nice lid for it, you know, when I get time, which is never. Right, let's get some tidying up done. So here I am, just putting some potatoes in, Maris Pipers. Now as you can see, I don't dig a very big hole. Now a lot of people dig trenches, which isn't a problem, it's all good. Different ways of doing it, but I tried a new way last year and it was a whole lot easier, so I'm sticking with it for this year. So I just dig a little hole like that, and instead of banking the soil up over them, I put grass over them, just a thin layer. So as soon as they start popping through, I put a bit of grass over, leave it a week, it pops through a bit more, put a bit more grass on top, and just keep doing that. Just keep topping it up with grass. And when it comes to digging them out, well, basically you just pull them out. It's brilliant. So as you can see, you got the shoots on the top. They're a bit big, but so we've got the shoots on the top. Years ago, when I first started growing potatoes, I actually thought they were roots, but no, they're shoots. So they grow up over, not down over. So I've got my Maris Pipers in here, but over there, last week, I put in my Charlottes, my Earlies. Obviously I put them in as well the other day, didn't I? Which will be on this video. But then it chucked it down. And I was meant to get all the potatoes in. Never got round to it. Here I've dug a little trench, started filling it with grass and chicken poo. The grass is actually the bedding. I use the grass as bedding. I use the grass a lot. Might as well use what we've got at hand. That's going to have my peas and my garden peas in soon. So I'll put a bit more in there. Now I'll just put the soil over it. I'll put some peas in the ground. I'll scatter them in. But then I've got some growing in the gutter as well, which I'll put that on top. So that they'll come up, and then the other ones will come up. Try and spread out the growing season. So as you can see, some of these holes are a bit close together, which people might complain and say they're too close together. But I'm not really bothered. I mean, if you're growing them, a lot of people grow them in buckets and tubs, and you don't get a lot of room in them, do you? So I'll get these in now. I have got some more to plant, but I'll save that till later on. Some Desirees. I love them. Because when I put the cabbages in, it was at the end of March. Now we're into April. I think it's the 2nd of April today. So it's like all systems go now. Been cutting the grass this morning because it's the first sunny day. Meant to have a nice day tomorrow, and I'm off work because my car's going in the garage to get its brakes done. So I'll get a bit more gardening done. So I'll get all these in. Like I say, just a shallow trench. And all I do is that. Note to it. Weeding as I go. And then when they pop the head through, just put some grass on. Not too thick a layer, because if you put too thick a layer, grass goes a bit soggy when it's rotting down. So you just keep putting a thin layer over, and it makes life so easy when pulling them out. Right, so I'll get the rest of these in. Get them backfilled. I won't bother watering them. We've had plenty of rain. The ground's wet enough. If I need to, I'll add some if we don't get any rain in a couple of days. But I think we'll be fine. Enjoy gardening, folks.